It was just before lights out on the night of June 11, 1962. Inside the concrete labyrinth of Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, 3 men worked quietly in their cells, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin, cell by cell, over months. They had chipped, pried, and scraped, meticulously widening the ventilation ducts at the back of their bunk bed. That night, with the noise of routine lockdowns and distant guards shuffling boots, the plan went into motion. Fake plaster heads with real hair, scavenged from the barber shop, were set on their pillows, blankets were pulled up, and the trio crawled through the holes into a dark utility corridor, vanishing from their cells. They scaled to the roof, slipped down the kitchen vent shaft, and into the chilling fog of the San Francisco Bay. Hidden inside their secret, workshop-concealed space above the cell block was a makeshift raft and life vests, fashioned from stolen raincoats and rubber cement. With homemade paddles and an audacious optimism, they made for the water's edge. Just after midnight, the 3 men inflated their raft, crept into the rolling currents, and disappeared into the mist. And just like that, Alcatraz's reputation as escape-proof began to crack. Morning brought only questions. The bed dummies did their job a little too. T realized the prisoners were gone until the first head rolled off the pillow during wake-up calls. What followed was pandemonium. Extra head counts, sirens, boats swarming the bay, the FBI racing onto the scene. On solid ground, the trail was thin. A paddle washed up on Angel Island. A life vest, torn and weather-beaten, floated near the Golden Gate. But the men themselves, nowhere to be found. Not a single definitive sign. The official investigation was swift. By the next day, the press were calling the escapees geniuses and daring masterminds. The warden, meanwhile, was under fire. His staff's pride sinking with the tide. The FBI, the Coast Guard, and plenty of newshounds spent days combing beaches and scrutinizing every cold, muddy inlet on both sides of the Golden Gate. Did the men freeze and drown in the bay's brutal currents, as officials at first claimed? Alcatraz law tells us that water temperatures hover around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and in June, the wind slash mercilessly. That stretch of water has a powerful reputation. It has sunk boats, let alone poorly constructed rafts, and no one, according to the records, had ever survived a direct break to shore. But then, no one had ever tried with quite so much preparation, either. Weeks went by. No bodies surfaced, no clear evidence of survival. Officially, the escapee's fate was chalked up as presumed drowned. But here's where things start to twist. In the years following, rumors and supposed sightings multiplied. Friends of the Anglin brothers began to receive unsigned postcards and Christmas cards. Family claimed mysterious phone calls and shadows in photographs. On one occasion, their mother reportedly received flowers anonymously every Mother's Day at her funeral. 2 unknown women in heavy makeup were said to have attended, leaving before anyone could ask questions. The FBI, skeptical but thorough, kept the case open for nearly 2 decades. They traced every lead. Odd bank robberies in the South, grainy photos sent from Brazil, reports of 3 men living on a farm. Even as late as the 1970s, federal agents traveled to South America to investigate a tip, combing small towns for faces that matched the missing trio. Nothing conclusive was ever found. Then, in 2013, the San Francisco police received a letter, allegedly from John Anglin. In shaky handwriting, the letter claimed he and his brothers did in fact survive, and that he was seeking a deal for medical treatment in exchange for revealing his location. The letter's authenticity? To this day, unproven. The trail grew colder. Experts remain divided. Some highlight the perilous odds, the cold, The shifting currents, the darkness, yet the Anglins were strong swimmers, and the raft, while improvised, was better than anything built in previous failed escape attempts. Some point out that, in the months leading up to the escape, a string of small, odd thefts, raincoats, glue, money popped up near the shorelines, as if the escapees had indeed made it and were grabbing supplies for a new life. Today, the official record closes their story as unknown, presumed drowned. But standing on the island, staring out over the shimmering water, it's easy to indulge another possibility. That perhaps the three left Alcatraz just three names, and a secret the bay still keeps.